I don't know why there's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather. Yes, hello. Yeah, it's pretty stormy. My name is Nick and welcome to the channel. Every couple of weeks, as you might know if you've watched this channel a little while, we do a 2-week roundup where we look at all the games that have been reviewed and try and class them in some sort of order. So I won't hang around, let's get straight to it. Before we do, of course, let's look at the Zen Pinball 2 tables I had a look at. 2 tables this time round, as we tend to do every Thursday if you want to check those out. But this time round, we looked at the Zen Pinball 2 table Wolverine. It's part of the original Marvel pack published in 2013. And basically, Wolverine is a member of the X-Men, and in the comics, the Avengers. He has claws and he's amazing healing powers. But on this table, he's in his yellow and blue and slightly black comic suit, which he doesn't wear in the movies. Good old Logan. One criticism of this table is it's a bit small, but the sound effects are good. There's a couple of villains there, including the Sentry or the Sentinel. He's that big robot thing. And it's okay, it's okay. Once you get a bit of practice on it, you can rack up quite big scores. If you want to challenge me on there or try and beat my score, of course, my PSN is Njenkin 7. Hooray! And then moving on to the next table in this pack there, it's good old Iron Man, Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. But I think this table, it don't feature any vocals or speech from the original Iron Man movie or the 2 successive ones or any movies at all actually. Out of the 4 tables in this Marvel pack, this one I'm the least excited about just because it's a bit difficult. The ramps are a little bit far away and they go up a bit steep, so a lot of the time, unless you hit the ball perfect, it'll be coming back down again. But there's some quite good modes on it. If you get to the end, which I didn't, it's quite cool. A big like silver beastie thing comes out the centre of the table and you have to challenge that one. So out of those 2, I'd probably prefer Wolverine. Okay, Bub. Iron Man, okay, but not so much. Okie doke, so let's get to the meat of the sandwich, the ham of the bun, and some other metaphor thing. Yes, the top 6. In 6th place, which I think everyone will agree, let me know if you don't agree. In 6th place on the Commodore Amiga, we got the rather abysmal 4x4 off-road racing on the Commodore Amiga, published in 1988. Now, it's said to me that the 8-bit versions of this game are a lot better than the 16-bit version, so I'll be having a look at it on Spectrum at some point, no doubt. But there's nothing good I can say about this game, really. It crashes frequently at the end of certain stages. Each stage is too long. If you crash, the car just flips over in a rather unconvincing animation and doesn't really slow you down. And it goes poodleily slow. It goes very slow. If you was on a mobility scooter, you probably go quicker than this. And if you was wearing a virtual reality helmet, which thank goodness that hasn't been developed for this game, you probably die of old age or indeed boredom. It's one game to avoid. You know, there's different stages, but they're all exactly the same and just have a different coloured skin on it. You've got mud is brown, ice is white, but the track I think's the same. It forks off in different directions, but it's just a cut and paste of different components. Avoid this game like the plague. 6th place. Ugh. And in 5th place, a game which I'm sure I could get a bit better or a bit more out of it if I practiced, but I never had this game at the time, and quite often I can't get the hang of things for a while, I will give up. But anyway, it was on the Commodore Amiga again. It's Bart Simpson versus the Space Mutants, published by Ocean in 1991. Yeah, what can I say about this? I want to be kind to it. It isn't too bad, but it isn't brilliant either. But you control Bart Simpson and some aliens are attacking Springfield. They've developed a weapon and by taking purple things and putting them in a machine, I don't know why, any purple item will do, they can just make some sort of weapon and destroy the Earth. So Bart has to go around in this platformer, collecting all purple items, the aliens can't get it. The aliens in the game aren't the aliens from the Simpsons cartoon, Kang and the other green blob, so I don't know what they're doing there. The game is a bit too difficult, I think, and I don't know. A few people would have got off the first stage, but you need to really love the Simpsons in this game to get any further. I couldn't be bothered with it, so that's why I had that one in 5th place. So the 2 Amiga ones, 5th and 6th this time. Oops, I'm running out of good Amiga games to review, I think. So keep your suggestions coming in. If I haven't reviewed them, write them below. Maybe I'll have a look at those if they're good. And in 4th place, Victory Road on the ZX Spectrum from 1989. This is the sequel to Akari Warriors on the Spectrum, and not quite as good in my opinion. In the original Akari Warriors, it's a vertical scrolling run and gun. In the original game, you was versus like a tangible enemy on Earth. For some reason, they put this one in space, and although the control system is similar, it's a bit frustrating fighting the aliens, really. When you shoot your gun, lots of craters appear in the dirt in front of you, and at some stages it looks like the game's glitching when it isn't. There's some strange modes where it's putting you in some sort of red room against some stone face creature. I don't know what's quite going on there. It's pretty difficult. If you liked Akari Warriors, you'd find this one interesting. If you had a choice between Akari Warriors and Victory Road, pick Akari Warriors every single time. Bit frustrating this, and it's, I don't know. You get this a lot with sequels. The original sells quite well, so they put out another one quite quickly. So in 6th place was 4x4 Off-Road Racing on the Commodore Amiga from 1988. In 5th place, Bart Simpson, again on the Commodore Amiga, Bart Simpson versus the Space Mutants in 1991. That was by Ocean. And in 4th place, Victory Road from 1989 on the ZX Spectrum. Okay, let's go up to the top 3 games then. Could have been in any order really. My 1st place might surprise you. But in 3rd, first of all, on the Game Boy Advance is DROME Racers from 1989. Now this game cleverly uses polygons and it's off to a good effect. I reviewed another game before on the Game Boy Advance called Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge, which use polygons really well to get a bit of undulation, and this does a similar thing. I think I slightly prefer the Hot Wheels game to this one, but this isn't without credit there. It's based on Lego apparently as well. I've never seen these Lego packs back in that sort of era, but it handles well. There's a lots to unlock. You compete in drag races for your qualifying position, and you can upgrade your different drag cars and speed car during the race. So if you're used to racing games, you can get into this one quite quickly. I found this pretty enjoyable actually. Different tracks there, as I mentioned. Okay, and now I'm struggling to say what I come first, what I come second, because when I put these in an order, I'm trying to look at the playability, but also I'm seeing how good the game is for that sort of era. Of course, if I didn't do that, games from the early 80s would never get a look in, because games today, the last 10 years, are vastly superior normally. So in 2nd place, I have a game called Formula 1 by Psygnosis in 1996. Quite revolutionary, this game at the time, on the PlayStation 1 as it's now known. It was to herald the start of a renaissance in Formula 1 games. This one was the first, I believe, that had the commentary from Murray Walker, a sort of prototype for the future games that were to come. Formula 1 96, 97, and then going forward. A few different modes. I could only get 2 to work in the actual game, but I'm told there's 5 in total, including chase view, which might be a bit better, because the view I had was just looking at the nose cone. It's a bit hard to spot the corners, so as a result I was maybe braking a bit too early because I couldn't see them enough there. But it's a good game. I prefer Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation 2, I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, to this one, but this is like a few years before 96, where that one I just mentioned was in 1999. It's a licensed game, so unlike Monaco Grand Prix, it's got all the proper drivers for that season there. I decided to control Johnny Herbert in his Benetton car. Cars seem to have surprisable good grip, so I didn't spin too much on it, but well worth checking out that one if you can get it cheap enough for historic purposes really. So that leaves in 1st place, wait for it, in 1st place was CYCLONE, which is quite apt for this rainy sort of like background really. CYCLONE was on the ZX Spectrum, and it's a game you control a helicopter from 1985. Is that 85? Yeah, 1985. Why is it called CYCLONE? Well, as I say, you control that helicopter, must take off on a small island, and by visiting other islands on this map, including Gilligan's Island, wisely named, there we go, I got there, you must rescue hostages by hovering over them, or people that need to be rescued, and also collecting crates. Sounds quite boring, doesn't it? But it's a good game where you have to control the helicopter. And what makes it tricky is all the time there's a cyclone blowing all over the map, which could make your controls really difficult to control the copter and could plunge you into the sea. So you have to try and avoid that, go around that. Also as well, there's enemy aircraft that fly, I think, randomly around the map. They don't fire at you per se, but they might crash into you and render the game over. So that's quite an interesting game there, Cyclone. Hasn't got too much publicity, I don't think, but well worth checking that out. So in summary then, in third place was Drone Racers on the Game Boy Advance from 2003. In second place, Formula 1 on the PlayStation 1 from 1996. And top of the shop this time was Cyclone on the good old ZX Spectrum 48K from 1985. Okay, so thank you for watching the videos as always. I know not many of you watch these roundups, so I'm always thinking how I can make them more interesting. But thank you for stopping by. If you missed any of those reviews and you want to watch them, by all means do so, and comment. Although some videos are quite old, I tend to answer them as much as I can, unless I don't know the answer, of course, or I don't understand the comment. But it happens sometimes, but rarely. But anyway, have a great weekend, and until next time, a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.